He looked down into her brown eyes, said, say a prayer for me. She threw her arms around him, said, God will keep us free.
And we always tell the audience, if you're sitting with somebody you shouldn't be, now might be the time to get up and move. So, we'll give you a second, because, I don't want to embarrass anybody. All righty. Well, we moved here in 1972. Is that right? 72, right?
Yeah.
I was, 17? She's a little older than me. And she insisted we leave Miami for a variety of reasons. And we got here, wanted to be part of it. And had sort of been trained in. She knew what I wanted to do and knew the process and knew the art, and we did it always together. I was a photographer looking for a place to shoot. And upon arriving in Overton County in 1972 and driving way up in Copeland Cove and seeing Ben Carr and Clarence Hammock and Ray Cantrell and all the old guys that represented a glimpse into the past, it was like, well, here it is. It was my first foray into synchronicity. And I guess seek and you shall find, and we sure found it. And we almost immediately started taking pictures of what I considered to be a vanishing culture. Some of it was just beyond belief. And it was on. And the people here were so not like the general country's perception, and this is relevant, to what southern rural country people were supposed to be like. They were supposed to be like Deliverance, or they were, my favorite is they were supposed to be like those awful photographs in Life magazine in 1964 that portrayed them as ignorant and slack-jawed, and needy and poor and destitute and Appalachia and oh my God. And we got here and we met the kindest, nicest, sweetest, family-oriented people we ever met. They couldn't help us more. And the point of this is that we got here and they helped us. We didn't know what kind of firewood to burn, what kind of tomatoes to grow, when did you plant them, what's a party line. We had a neighbor that listened to all our conversations. We finally would just include her.
Conference call.
Yeah. She was great. That was Dallas's. Was it her mother?
It was her
I
mother.
believe it was Dallas Smith's mother. Oh my God. Dallas Smith made more whiskey than any woman in Overton. Most of it was bought by the sheriff. I know things. So we began. And I worked at a sawmill for a little while, and she started having children.
By herself.
Can't get pregnant where you're nursing. We'll be seeing Jason today, who was born 11 months after his sister. And thank you, Dr. Norris. Anybody here ever know Dr. Norris?
Yes.
He's responsible for a lot of quick Irish twins. And I went to work for a little while for a really cool guy named George Wright that owned a handle mill, a little hickory handle sawmill. Over by where the Livingston High School is now. And I learned a lot from George. I only worked there about 8 weeks, but we remained friends, and I learned that sawmill work was probably not going to be my life's ambition, and that I needed my hands and my fingers. So I heard that Dr. Easterly, and I don't know, I'm probably the oldest person in the room. Does anybody remember Dr. Easterly? He was a cool old guy. He was a father figure to me. He wasn't the most scientific. He wasn't the most modern, large animal or small animal veterinarian that ever walked the earth. But he was a good man, and he gave me a job where I could work 80 hours a week and make $119 a week, which was a lot of money then. And because of Dr. Easterly, we began to be allowed access to photograph in, all over the 4 or 5 county district, because they could see you out there, you're stomping around their property, looking at their barns or their mules or whatever, and they go, "Who are you?" And you go, "You know me, I'm Doc's Hippie," because they called me Doc's Hippie. And they go, "Oh yeah, Doc's Hippie, come on in, let's eat. Want to drink a whiskey?" And that's how it started. I don't want anybody to think that we named us, because we didn't. We were Doc's Hippie, and then that became Hippie Jack, and there's other varieties of that we won't get into. Happy Jack is one, I've heard that. I'm not always that happy. But it gave us the start we needed to collect a body of work that would find some success later on. Some of those early images, I had a dark room that I rented out under Basco Bilbrey's Grocery on the corner of the square in Livingston, and I would go there after work after 5. I paid $7 a month for the space. It was the old women's restrooms, and that was half the water bill. Raleigh Needham had a little frame shop next to it, and I would go there and I would print, and I would work on my portfolio for what would be my future work, and people don't realize how much change there's been here. I could sit on the stoop, and I was right across from Lay Simpson. I could see the square from right where I was, and 5:30, 6 o'clock, there'd be a car every now and then go through the square of Livingston, every now and then. Mostly it was the street sweeper with his wheelbarrow and his dog. And now you sit there and it's like constant traffic all the time. People don't realize. And Cookville was like Livingston. I mean, it was tiny. And it was wonderful. It was paradise for us. She's from New York, but I broke her of that. And we met in Miami, and this was as far as we could get from either one of our families without moving west. And it's been our home and our family place, and our home for our children who all live in Cookville, and they all went to state schools. And I got to say, God bless Tennessee. It is the land of opportunity if you want it to be. And it is a land of people that are certainly kind and accepting and open-minded to a certain degree. At least the Methodists are. I was reading on the internet this morning where All True Things Are about the snake handling church in Alabama. There won't be any snakes here, will there? And I thought, that's a test of faith. When they hand you a rattlesnake, you better believe.
I didn't tell him to say that. He doesn't know that I am.
You're not a Methodist?
I'm a Methodist, and I'm not a snake handler, but I'm real.
She wants to be.
She's
She's a snake handler woman.
I don't want to do it. I just want to see
Yes,
it.
she is.
I want to see it. I don't want them to hand me one.
No.
I'd like to do a video. I may get in touch. It was called the Rock City something church. It's all over
Okay,
there.
if you'll forward that to me, I'll look into it.
All right. Well, maybe you can get me in the door. Work here. So anyway, 35 years on the road with our photography. A little bit of success at the end. Managed to sneak 20 pieces into the American History Museum at the Smithsonian. That kind of alerted the troops. They didn't buy them. We had them donated. And And that kind of got everybody interested. And our good friend Lois Riggins Ezel, who was the longtime director of the Tennessee Museum, Tennessee State Museum, she said, "Oh yes, you are the eccentric one." And she said, "We didn't want your work when it was $300 a piece, but now that it's $3,000, we can't buy enough of it." God bless them. I like people that wait. Procrastination can work. And then one day, we didn't really need the kids were out of school and farms paid for. Why are we doing this? We were in Louisville. I'll never forget. We drove up. We were doing the St. James Art Show in Louisville. Usually it's Sunday when I get moody. But it was Thursday. We were driving in. And I said, "You know what?" I said, "I hate this." And she goes, "Well," I said, "we're never doing another one," and we never have. And there was a variety of reasons. Digital photography has changed everything. And we're printmakers. I'm a silver gel printmaker, Stieglitz, Steichen era. You know, get in the dark room, roll up your sleeves, and make stuff. And my oldest son, who makes more money than I ever made, is a digital photographer, which takes the printmaking out of it, which puts the more shows in it. But he's going to need it because college is expensive now. And so we just said, you know what? We're done. Well, I said it. She agreed. Well, we needed something to do because, well, y'all know about the idle hands things. Being Methodist, right? It's definitely the devil's workshop.